So the goals of the ad hoc were to establish, develop, and implement actionable items to identify racial equities in Shelby County by addressing several things such as poverty, as well as barriers to economic mobility, by also providing solutions to those objectives. Because we can talk all day about what the challenges are, but we also need to make sure that we look at tangible, actionable solutions. We know what the demographics are in Shelby County. We're the majority. When you look at the demographics of Memphis proper, we're the super majority. Next slide. So if you look, these are home ownership rates. And we look at home ownership rates, we go all the way back to 1930, 1 year after the stock market crash of 1929. And if you look at the very top, that's the non-Hispanic white home ownership rates. Those rates went from 49% to almost 3 out of every 4. When you look at home ownership rates for blacks, it went from 1 out of 4 to not even 1 out of 2 yet. So what does that mean? That means that the other 55%, they might be living at home, they might be homeless, they might be renting. If you look at the next slide, and as I've stated in all of the community meetings, sometimes you gotta look at the numbers and not the percentages. The reason why I say sometimes you have to look at the numbers, not the percentages, because the percentages are not always going to give you the entire truth on what the challenges are. For example, if you look at the very bottom of this slide, it says white households median net worth by type of asset. So if you look at the dark blue, it says 58%, and the light blue says 42%. Well, 58% represents the home equity, and 42% represents other assets. But when you add the two pieces together, it totals up to be $250,000 total of net worth. This is the reason why I say you gotta look at numbers, not percentages. So when you look at black households, the percentage is higher. Look how small that box is. That 66% represents home equity, but when you look at the median net worth for black households, it's not even at $30,000. So even though 66% of net worth is home equity for black households, it's only about this much of the pie. Next slide, please. Now we look at denial rates. And this is a story, small story that I talk about every time at a community meeting, where if you look at the State of Housing and Black America statistic that they call Exhibit 11, it states that 17% of black applicants still get denied. 80% of your FICO score is 3 categories. Basically, paying your bills on time is 35%. Low utilization is 30%. And age on your credit cards, mortgage, student loans, whatever the case may be, is 15%. So the rule of thumb is don't be late. You don't even want to be 30 days late. So think about this. If you have something that's due on the 15th, they don't count you 30 days late until 30 days after 15. It's not easy to remove a 30-day late, especially if you have several of them. So I tell people the rule of thumb is this. If you have a 30-day late that you can't remove, it takes about 9 months to get most of your points back on a 30-day late. If you're 60 days late, it takes about 3 years for you to get most of your points back on a 60-day late. If it's 90 days or worse, it takes approximately 7 years. You basically gotta wait for that statute of limitations to take effect before you get those points back. So I don't think anybody really wants to wait. And they make it 35% of your credit score. So they know it's a bit like, oh, I got you on a 30-day late and it's brand new and fresh. It'll take about 7 points to wait to get the take. That's a big difference.